this and share my screen with you. Great. And what we're looking at this week is aspects of defense problems and hands where you need to think about things like unblocking and overtaking by the defense. So let's start with this hand here. And North-South are playing in 4 hearts. South opened a heart, your partner overcalled. North jumped to 4 hearts. And your partner leads the king of diamonds. And down comes dummy. And you can see dummy's fairly weak in terms of points, just 8 points, but they've got very good distribution. And you have to think about how you're going to defend here, where your tricks might come from. So your partner's led the king of diamonds. The 3 is played from dummy. And I've got the first poll of the afternoon, which is which diamond are you going to play? The ace, 9, the 8, or the 6? And majority, 54%, went for the ace of diamonds, but the rest played a lower diamond. So let's have a look at this. Well, when this hand was played, actually, a lot of people played it in 4 hearts, and it can actually be defeated, although most declarers made 10 tricks or more. Now, when your partner leads a king of diamonds, you know that's top of the sequence. And you also know, because there was a singleton in dummy, that there's only 1 trick in diamonds that you are going to make. So you have a choice of letting your partner retain the lead here, or you can overtake. And this is a perfect kind of hand where you should be thinking about overtaking, because where are you going to make tricks here? Well, apart from 1 diamond and the ace of spades, the only other place you and your partner are likely to make any tricks is in clubs. And it's going to work out much better if, after winning this first trick, if you are on lead, so that you can lead a club. You've got the jack 10-9, you've got a lovely holding to lead, and you're leading into dummy's weakness. And that will work out very well if any honors that South has will be trapped, and your partner may be able to beat them. So yes, the correct card to play here is definitely the ace. And then you switch to a club. You switch to the jack of clubs. And if we just bring up the 4 hands, you'll see what's going on here. You see that South has got the ace, queen, 4. So when you play the jack, they may well play the ace. They don't want to risk losing that one. And your partner signals a 7, which is encouraging there. So that's high to encourage. So let's see what happens. Suppose they now start drawing trumps. They draw trumps in 2 rounds, and then they play the jack of spades. And you can see they're hoping to set up the spade tricks here, but you can win your ace. And because of the earlier signal, you're going to shift back to clubs here, and you're trapping declarer's queen of clubs. So you keep playing clubs, and that way the defense can make 4 tricks there. After that, declarer is going to ruff and can claim the rest, but you will defeat the contract by playing in that way. Like I said, when this hand was played, most declarers made 10 tricks. And just see what happens if you don't overtake. So if you let your partner win the king, maybe you signal the 9 to encourage. Well, it's all very well to encourage, but although you have the ace, you're not going to make any more diamond tricks. So it's not really a time to encourage. But now your partner is on lead, and you can see that whereas it was very good for you to lead clubs, it would not work out well for West to lead clubs. So they may play another suit. They might play another diamond, or whatever they play. I suppose they switch to a trump. Declarer can now play as they did before, drawing the trumps first, and then playing the spades. And at some point you'll get in with your ace, but if you play a club now, it's too late, because declarer can win the ace. And now we'll cross over to dummy with a diamond ruff and can cash their last 2 spades, throwing away their clubs. So played that way, declarer is now going to cross ruff and we'll make 11 tricks on this one. So this was an important kind of situation. You know that playing your ace on top of your partner's king won't cost a trick. You've only got 1 trick there. You know your partner's got a good diamond suit. So play the ace so that you can then switch to a club. Any comments or questions, do let me know. Let's try another one. Here it's gone 1 spade, 2 hearts by your partner, and North bids 4 spades. And your partner leads the queen of hearts here. And down comes dummy. And let's have a think about what's going on here. And I've got the second poll of the afternoon for you, which is declarer plays the 5 from dummy. And the question is, what are you going to play? The ace, the 8, or the 6? Which heart are you going to play? Okay, let's have a look at the results. And 36% went for the ace, and the rest of you chose another card. Well, let's think about this. When your partner leads the queen, you know that they have a sequence headed by the queen, right? So that means that declarer has the king. Now, if I just go back 1 card, you can see that with only 2 hearts in dummy, that the defense can only ever make 1 trick here. Because if you play low here, declarer is going to win that with the king. Later you can take a trick with the ace. But there's only 1 trick available, however you play this. And there's no harm here in overtaking with the ace, because that will mean that you are then on lead and in a position to lead into dummy's weakness. Yes, once again, if you look at dummy and you think, where are we going to make tricks? Well, we're going to make 1 heart trick. Maybe my partner's got a high spade, but the only other place we can make tricks is in clubs. And again, just like on the previous hand, it's quite important for me to be on lead so that I can lead a club. Especially with those 4 diamonds in dummy, it's very likely declarer will be able to discard on those if we don't take our clubs right away. So we should definitely overtake there and lead back a club. And normally when you're leading from something like Jack 8, 5, 3, it's normal to lead your 4th highest. But in a situation like this, where you're leading into dummy's weakness, it can often work out better to try and lead a card higher than the highest card in dummy. So the card that I'm going to lead is the Jack of clubs. In fact, if I click on the GIB button, it will tell you that that is the only card that will defeat this contract. So I'm going to lead the Jack of clubs. Let's have a look at the layout here. I've got one of the layouts I'm hoping for where declarer's got the king that is trapped. So my partner, of course, is going to play the 10 to let me retain the lead. And I'm going to carry on with clubs. And whenever declarer plays the king, my partner beats it and can cash the queen. And played that way, we're going to make the first 4 tricks. I think after that, you can see that we're not, declarer's not going to lose any more tricks because they'll just draw trump and they can cash those diamonds. So it was essential for you to overtake the queen with the ace there and to lead back a club. That's the only way to defeat this contract. Anyone have any comments on that? You might think it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate lead from your partner that they led the queen of hearts because it allows declarer to make a trick with their king. But there's really, they made a normal lead there, and you know, it works out well as long as you overtake and lead back a club.
Tony?
Yes, hello, Francis.
When you say that they can only make we can only make one heart trick.
Yes.
Does that mean you think they will discard the second heart?
No, I'm saying because there are two hearts in dummy, and because you know South has got the king, you can never make more than one trick, because they'll make the king. You can make one trick, but they'll, however many extra hearts they have, they can ruff them because there's a doubleton in dummy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's because of that doubleton in dummy that you can be certain that they're not going to make that you can't make more than one trick there. Right.
So you're relying on your partner to not lie to you that they haven't got the king.
Yes.
They would have played the king. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
If your partner had the king, if your partner had the king, queen, jack, and led the queen, they've made a bad mistake.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let's try another one. This is an easy one, I suppose, I hope. Declarer finds themselves in 3 no trump. Your partner leads the queen of clubs, and you have to think about what that shows. It's presumably top of a sequence, and presumably they have that's their best suit. So they very likely have a 4 or 5 card club suit headed by the queen. And of course, what you have to do is to overtake it. Because you've got the ace king 6, what you're going to do is overtake this with the ace or king, cash the other high honor, and then lead back a club. And then you'll make as many club tricks as your partner has in their hand. You've only got 3 tricks, and if you make the mistake of letting your partner win this, they'll carry on in clubs and you'll make exactly 3 tricks. But of course, what you must do is overtake, play back your other high honor, and then play that back and declare, and your partner will win that trick. If I bring up the 4 hands, you can see that they're then in a position to cash 1 more club, and you can make 4 tricks that way. Actually, on this hand, declarer's got the rest, and you can't defeat the contract, but you'll hold declarer to 9 tricks if you overtake. So a pretty simple one there, but you've got 4 clubs coming your way, but you'll only make them if you overtake the queen. Let's have a look at this one. And here it's gone 1 no trump, 3 no trump. And this time your partner leads the 3 of hearts. I'll leave you to think about what you think that means. And declarer, down comes dummy. You can see a pretty nice dummy there. Declarer plays the 10 from dummy, and let's suppose you play the queen, and that wins the trick. So you've just won the first trick with the queen of hearts, and I'm going to launch a poll in a moment, and the question is, what are you going to play back now? Think about the suit you want to play back, and think about which card you should play back. Here comes that poll. There's a little bit to think about. I'll give you a little bit longer. Think about what you're going to play now. Let's have a look at the results so far. And 43% went for the king of hearts, 36 for a club, 14% playing 6 of hearts, and 1 person going for a diamond. So let's switch to the right one. Well, let's think about this. Well, first of all, what does that lead of the 3 of hearts mean? It's obviously a low card, and it's presumably your partner's best suit, and it should indicate a suit that they are interested in, where they should have at least 1 honor. If that is the case, in fact, you know what the honor is. It's a jack. So they haven't led from a great suit, but they're lucky that they found you with the king and queen. And you've won this trick now. And what you're going to do on this hand is carry on in hearts. You need to force out the ace so that later, when you gain the lead with the ace of diamonds, you can lead another heart back. So the correct card to play here, and it seems like a waste, but it's not, it's unblocking the suit, is the king. You play the king here. Obviously, that loses to the ace. And let's suppose declarer now plays diamonds, and you maybe let the first one go. They carry on. You take a diamond, but now you're in a position to lead a heart back. And if we just bring up the four hands, we're hoping for some kind of layout where your partner's got the jack, where they started here with 5 hearts in the suit. And so your partner can win that one and take the remaining heart tricks to take 5 tricks there. After that, declarer is going to win the rest of these tricks. I think they've got clubs and diamonds, but they will be held to 8 tricks if you defend correctly. So although clubs is a reasonable second choice to the heart, it's you can see there are very good prospects to take a lot of heart tricks. All you need to do is force out the ace, and you must do it with the king, otherwise the suit will block. Okay, if you play the 6 and then get in later on with the ace of diamonds, you can cash a heart, but that's it. You won't be able to get to your partner to take the remaining hearts. On this hand, if instead, when your partner leads a heart, if declarer plays the ace, the situation is similar, that you have to think about unblocking, and you must play the king or the queen. Okay, it's normal to play the king in that situation. And then when declarer plays diamonds, as before, and you get in with your ace, you're now going to, again, play high from 2 remaining. You've got the queen and the 6. So it's a really important thing to remember. Play high from 2 remaining, and then you'll be able to cross to your partner, who again will take the remaining heart tricks. So that's an important one. Again, you've got to think about unblocking rather than being worried about wasting your high cards. Let's try this one here. This time, South has opened with 2 spades. That's a weak 2 spade, showing a 6-card suit. Your partner doubled. North bid 3 spades. And although you don't have a great hand, you've only got like 9 points, you really would like to bid the hearts. And I'm sort of thinking on this auction that 3 spade tends to be quite a weak bid. So I bid 4 hearts. However, North then raised the spades to 4 spades, and that ended the auction. I'm a little disappointed by that, because I was hoping maybe my partner might double that, but they didn't. I didn't double it. I can't feel confident in defeating 4 spades. But anyway, here they are in 4 spades, and your partner leads the ace of clubs. And you can see a pretty reasonable dummy there with 12 points, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 points. And they've got 3 card support for their partner's 6-card suit. And I've got a couple of poll questions coming up on this one. Firstly, when your partner leads the ace of clubs here, which club are you going to play? The queen, the 3, or the 2? So have a little think about that. And I'm going to launch that poll. And the question is, what should East play? The queen, the 3, or the 2? Okay, let's have a look. So a slight majority here have gone for the 3 of clubs, followed by the 2 of clubs, and 21% played the queen of clubs. So let's see what we think of it. Well, your partner presumably has got the ace and king of clubs. And normally in this situation, you might think about giving an attitude signal as to whether to encourage your partner to carry on in this suit. And although I have the queen of clubs, I really don't want to encourage my partner to carry on in clubs. Because there was a doubleton club in dummy, there's no point encouraging my partner to play the carry on with that suit. The only time I would encourage in a situation like this, where my partner leads the ace and there's 2 cards in dummy, is if maybe I had a doubleton and I had prospects of maybe over ruffing if declarer ruffs in dummy, but that's not the case here. So the correct card to play is the 2 of clubs. It's discouraging. If you played the 3 of clubs, you might think your partner will think that's discouraging too. But if you play the 3 and after declarer plays, your partner may figure out that there's still the 2 around and no one played it, and might think you were encouraging. But you definitely don't want to encourage here. You've no reason to encourage your partner to carry on in clubs. So you play the 2, and your partner plays the Jack of Spades. Okay, now you need to think about what's going on here. Why is your partner playing a trump? Okay, you follow, and declarer wins the king. And now declarer leads another club. Okay, so your partner plays the 10, the 8 is played from dummy, and I've got the final poll of the afternoon, which is, which club are you going to play? And you may also think about why. But are you going to play the queen, overtaking the 10, or are you going to play the 3 and let your partner retain the lead with the 10 of clubs? So here comes that poll. What are you going to play, the queen or the 3? Okay, let's have a look. And most of you have gone for the queen, 79%, with 21% choosing the 3. So let's see what we think about that. What's going on this hand? Your partner won the first trick with the ace and then switched to a trump. Why did you think they did that? And why is declarer playing clubs now? Well, the answer is that declarer presumably has some length in clubs, and they are hoping to ruff some clubs in dummy. And your partner saw that shortage in dummy and made the very good defense of switching to a trump. Now, you have to now think about how the trumps are divided on this hand. South opened 2 spades, started with 6, presumably. There were 3 in dummy, that's 9, and you started with 3, that's 12. So your partner started with 1 spade and they've played it. So you need to overtake this because you want to carry on drawing trumps. Your partner has no more trumps now, so you must overtake and carry on drawing trumps. So you can draw 1 more round of trumps here. Let's bring up the 4 hands, and you can see at this point declarer does indeed have these 2 clubs that they would like to have ruffed, but because you and your partner drew 2 rounds, they can only ruff 1 of them. So they can play a club, which they can ruff. They then might come back to their, oh no, sorry, they might be, here they're just giving up a heart. But West now, because there are no more trumps in dummy, can now cash a club. And after this, you're going to play your hearts, declarer can ruff that, and we'll draw the last trumps, and at the end we'll take the last 2 diamonds. But you have defeated the contract by taking 5 tricks, sorry, 4 tricks. And what you've done is you prevented declarer ruffing the clubs in dummy. If you look at this hand from declarer's point of view, you can see he's not going to lose any spades, but he's going to lose a heart, and his other losers are in clubs. And he rightly decided not to draw trumps because he wants to ruff 2 clubs in dummy. But you prevented that by you and your partner drawing 2 rounds of trumps, so he was only able to ruff once. So he lost 3 clubs and a heart, and you defeated 4 spades. Any comments on that one? So that was an example of overtaking so that you can continue to draw trumps, because if you work out the hand, you will realize that your partner has no more trump. And let's finally end with this one, where this time you opened with a weak 2 spades, south bid 3 hearts, and north bid 4 hearts. And let's have a little think about this. Your partner leads the 7 of spades, and down comes dummy. And you can see, well, you can see actually the 7, 8, 9, Queen, Jack, 10. You might play the 10 here. You could play the 6 is high enough, and Declarer wins the first trick with the king. Okay, so have a little think about the spades at this point. Actually, if you think about it, count the spades, there are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's one spade unaccounted for, and it's the ace. Someone has the ace of spades. So let's see how it goes. Declarer plays the ace of diamonds and then plays another diamond, and they're going to play the jack. Your partner plays the jack. But you now, again, are in a similar position. You can let your partner win this with the jack, or you can overtake with your queen. And if you've done your arithmetic, you'll realize that that one spade, the ace, must be in the south hand. Your partner led the 7 of spades, and they would not have led the 7 if they had started with the ace. If they had the ace and the 7, they should have led the ace. When they lead the 7 and Declarer wins, you now know that Declarer has the ace of spades. So the winning play here is to overtake so that you can give your partner a ruff. Let's bring up the 4 hands. You're going to play a spade now, and your partner gets to ruff. Okay, and after that, let's suppose your partner switches to a club. Declarer can win that. They might then draw trumps, but they want here to ruff a diamond, so they don't draw all the trumps yet. They ruff that diamond, then they draw the remaining trumps, and at the end, if your partner has kept the right cards, they will make 2 clubs. Your West will make the last 2 clubs, and again they will defeat 4 hearts, making 9 tricks. So yes, I mean, this is about realizing what it means when your partner leads a 7, that they could not have the ace, and also working out that based on the count that you started with 6, there are 4 in dummy, and there are only 3 spades between the south and the west hands, and they must be divided like this for West to have led the spade. So it's an example there of overtaking in the diamonds so that you can give your partner a ruff. You may be thinking, why did Declarer play that way? Why didn't they just draw trumps? Well, if you look at the losers here, South has got no spade and no trump losers, but they've got 2 club losers, and they could lose also 2 diamond losers unless they can ruff in dummy. So they delay drawing trumps here so that they can try to ruff a diamond in dummy, but that gave you the chance to get in and give your partner a ruff before the Declarer had drawn trumps. Anyone have any questions about any of those hands? So they're all examples that require careful thought, whether you want to let your partner win the trick. Sometimes it's right to overtake when you have a specific reason like this one.